me like...
I know it's going to make us hotter.
Okay, but it's okay. It's going to give us liquid courage a bit.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
No, way better than the honey.
I just hate alcohol. I think I decided.
I like it too much.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Youngish and with myself, Onika, and...
Welcome back, guys. Marette, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Youngish N. So on today's episode, we want to look at dating and social media. Specifically, online dating, so apps versus sliding in the DMs. So one thing that we've been wondering so far was, why is one kind of considered taboo or something that, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing or something that you don't really want to talk about? I don't know as far as guys, but with females, like, it's a little bit of a kind of gray area.
Yeah, I even pretend like I don't go on.
Right, exactly. It's like, what? Dating apps? Like, what? Who? Not me. Like, are you crazy?
No.
Like, I'm not on that stuff. Like, no. Versus DMs, where people seem to be so much more comfortable when it comes to sending DMs and, like, you know, sliding the DMs to, like, whether it's sending emojis or comments or whatever the case may be. So we just kind of want to, like, dive into it a little bit more and, you know, talk about all that good stuff. So, Anika, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go for it.
What do you think the percentages of people who have used online dating?
I'm going to go with 60%. Because I feel like at least everybody, for the most part, has tried.
Yes.
Like, at least.
So the recorded numbers are 36% of Canadians 18 to 34 have said that they used online dating. Now, those are only the ones who have said they've used it.
So 30% of Canadians are lying about not using it.
Of course. What is that about?
Break. I
Obviously.
swear everyone has tried to, especially when Tinder first came out, everyone tried to. I don't care what
Before
anyone tells me.
it turned into like a straight hookup act.
Yeah. I don't care what anyone tells me. Everyone
Yeah,
has
for
used
sure.
Tinder. Everybody.
I had a coworker who, like, I remember when it first came out, ended up finding her husband on there. Like,
that's insane. I'm like, I know actually a few people that have found their
but this is like
spouses.
way back. Like, I think when it was like when I was at Nordstrom, so like a while back, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, like before where we are now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was like at the very beginning. I remember she was able to, like, they started dating and whatever, and now they're married. So, and I mean, I know there's a lot of other people who are also, like, married from apps and stuff, but yeah. So that's very bogus.
That's what I'm saying.
That numbers,
they're lying.
Not enough people are coming forward
lying.
about the truth. Yes.
Lying. Dead liars. But again, I won't upfront say I've used them, but if someone asks me, I'm like, I did.
Yeah, of course. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I've used
it
them
a few times.
Yeah, like, especially pandemic, like, we were
Honestly,
bored out here.
Pandemic,
like, there was
I
really
think I
nothing
probably
to
used it in the
do.
beginning, and then not so much afterwards. Because again, I'm so bad at dating apps. Like, I'm so bad at them. Like, I feel like my next time I maybe use one, I need to put in my bio, like, if I do not reply within 5 days, it's nothing against you.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's just me.
Error message. It's funny because sometimes you see, like, oh, if I don't respond in time, here's my Instagram.
Yeah, but that's just because they're looking for more followers.
Yeah, of course. They want followers,
punks.
so.
Go follow my Instagram, please. No one's allowed to have my Instagram right away.
Bye. As far as male versus female, what do you think the percentage is with users?
Okay, so I think in terms of uses, I'd say 60% female, 40% male.
Yeah,
Somewhere
you think more
there.
women are on there than men?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like women are more looking for love than guys. I feel like...
I believe it.
Even if guys are, I don't know if they're willing to actually go out looking for it. I feel like guys is more like they jump upon it, like, oh, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Compared to women, are like, okay, no, I'm looking for a partner.
Where
no,
women
I'm looking for a relationship. Yeah. I feel like guys are just like, oh yeah, I just got into a relationship and, you know,
because we were both there and it happened.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas women actually actively seek every opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think more women are on it than
more
males.
Women than men.
Yeah.
Well, surprisingly, it's actually men 52% 52.4%, and women 47.6%. So I mean, it's still pretty like
right. It's 50-50.
Liars. Again, what? These are actual these are only people who have come forward with these stats.
But I feel like women are more honest. I don't
That's
feel like
true too.
I feel like women are like, yeah, I've been on it. I feel like men would more
I think we are more open. Yeah, because men think they're
the numbers could be the opposite. It could be like 60% men,
it could be like 70.
Women. Oh my god,
it could be like 70%.
So which means we're like, so when we're on there, we're pretty much like gold because we're like
pretty much
less of us.
Pretty much.
Okay,
pretty much.
All right, got it. We forgot to introduce our special guest today.
Yeah, our special guest, ringing in the 17-degree weather in November.
For those that can't see, we're drinking some Crown Royal
Island
apple
vibes
and some orange juice.
I mean, it's about to be extreme winter, so any time that there's some sunshine, it just calls for a celebration.
Yeah, we gotta enjoy
this late in the year.
Celebrate while we can.
Exactly.
Okay.
So basically,
hit me with another stat.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm horrible at these. I feel like I know, but obviously I don't know.
So, a little bit more exciting. What do you think the statistic is of people who lie on their profiles? 100%.
Right? I was like, probably a lot.
Everybody?
Okay. So, I guess there's a difference between lying and holding back the truth.
A fine line.
A fine line. So if I say just straight up lying, at least, I feel like at least 75%.
Yeah.
At least. Because I feel like I feel like a lot of those guys just lie about their height in general.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel like that's one of the most the popular things that people lie about.
I feel like whenever I was
height.
on, that's what I always would see. Like, guys would purposely just put their height on their bio.
In their bio. And I'm like, why are you putting your height? Like, that's kind of weird.
It's important to me. I'm one of those stupid... Don't even get there.
Yeah. But I mean, it is, and it is.
But the fact that they're putting on their profile, I'm like, ooh, that says a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's like, why do you have to project it so hard? Like, you know?
Like, listen, I'm not putting my weight on there.
But the thing is,
my weight fluctuates so much.
If we meet up, I'm gonna see if you're 5'5".
Yeah, that's true. I mean? No, that's very true.
How can you hide that when the person's in front of you? You know what I mean?
That's
I don't know.
Very
It
true.
seems kind of weird. I don't know.
But
yeah, that's one thing I noticed.
One of their main things on their bio is their height. Like the first thing they do, 6'4" from Toronto and play.
Apparently,
blah, blah, blah.
everybody is over 6 feet. I'm like, I highly doubt that because
everyone is and even you get the ones that are 6'1". It's just you feel like they. I don't know. Maybe I just don't think that we realize what height is.
I don't know, but I just I don't understand how people would even try to lie about their height because unless they're never planning to meet you. Because there's a lot of people who just want to talk and chat with a bunch of different people. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's people on there who are in relationships, married, all kinds of stuff. People use it for so many different reasons.
I remember the first time I went on it, I was approached by a couple.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of couples.
So at first it was just a guy, so I just swiped.
Do you want to be a third?
Yeah.
No?
And after he started sending me pictures of the two of them, I'm like...
Yeah.
Okay. And then after he's like, oh, do you want to be our unicorn? I'm like, unicorn?
Yeah. That's how I learned what a unicorn was.
Yeah, then I had to Google it, and I'm like, oh,
a third.
No, I'm okay. No, I'm okay.
Absolutely not.
And it was when the time BBM was around.
Oh,
that's how long ago it was. Because I remember because it was on BBM that they sent me the picture of the two of them, and it was
I don't know. That's weird. I mean, if I were to ever be a unicorn, it would not be with people strangers online.
No, it had to...
I've been a third, but a very long time ago.
I've never been.
Yeah, but it was my friends.
Wow.
The couple, I was friends with both of them, so it is what it is.
Okay, I guess.
But as far as on an app with strangers, no.
I don't know, because my one couple that I'm friends with both of them.
Yeah.
And actually, the two couples that I'm friends with both, I would say the husband and the wife, because I'll text both of them and I'm in contact with both of them. Just thinking about them even having sex disgusts me. So I don't know. My friend, I'm like, oh yeah, I slept with him today. I'm like, don't tell me this.
I mean, it wasn't
please.
Planned. It was just one of those things, you know. It wasn't. It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. There was
maybe if they're
there wasn't a prior conversation. It was just one of those you know.
I guess maybe
those nights, drunken nights.
Maybe it was like if it was my type for both of them, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They were definitely both my type, though.
See, that's what I think maybe that's what it would have to be.
They're beautiful.
That's what it would
both
have to be.
Very, very good looking, so.
That's what it have to be.
But yeah, as far as like strangers on an app, like seeking a third, I don't know. Maybe that's like the best way for them to do it. But as far as me, like...
But then wouldn't you also be nervous of people seeing you on there? Like your friends that don't know about like your sex life and your sex history and what you guys like to do, and then all of a sudden,
like that's weird.
And they see your husband, and
like you don't even know who's on there.
Your husband's on Tinder, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I know. It's
like he's on there for the both of us.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. I don't know. It's weird. Even like, can you imagine like your coworkers? I feel like there's
so many like sites that have those. Things that's like, why would you go on Tinder? But I guess Tinder's like a faster, easier way.
I guess, yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't join those like sex websites anyway. So it's like Tinder's like the easier way.
That's like kind of like sleazy. I mean, for me, so to speak. Like I'm not with all that.
Yeah, so I feel like Tinder would probably be the easier way to find people.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Tinder, man.
Right? Honestly, as crazy as it is, this year, well, obviously because of the pandemic, like it just saw all of the apps, especially the dating apps, they saw an immense surge. Like on March 29, 2020, Tinder users made 3 billion swipes worldwide in one day. So it was the most that the app has recorded in a single day. Like that's insane. Was I on it on March 29th?
That's what I'm trying to think. Was I on?
Was March like pandemic? Okay, so
maybe
honestly, I remember like work was like super slow back then. Not that I was using my phone at work.
Only on break.
But yeah, like working nights is like the worst, and it's like dead and quiet and whatever. I remember I was on it like during pandemic. I got back on it because I had the international feature. And
oh yeah, so
I wasn't on the Toronto. I didn't want anybody from here.
No, I think she told me about it, and that's why I downloaded it again. Because I'm like, oh, I can hook up with someone from like
England,
I was like, what? France.
Like, I'm ready to travel. Right when I'm ready to travel again, like I'm here for it. Like
I'm like, as soon as the borders open, like hey.
Right, exactly. I'm out. So I had like 5 saved like destinations. I think I had London, I had Paris, I had Amsterdam, I had Barcelona, and I think Lisbon was the first.
I had one.
The guys in Europe?
Houston.
Oh my god, I can't.
Honestly, I won't lie. I had Houston.
I didn't really fuck with the US like that when I had the international option.
But I think it's because at the time I seen all those like I follow all those black love pages on Instagram, and all of them are from Houston. So I'm like,
I was off IG, yeah.
So I'm like Houston. I'm like, maybe I'll find my husband from Houston.
I just don't trust American guys. Like, I mean, not that the ones in Europe are any better, but like, you know what I mean? They're so nice and polite, and like, there's a bunch of them that I still talk to regularly, like till this day, that I have on like WhatsApp and like I FaceTime and stuff like that when I'm, you know what I mean? Just like we became friends after, because obviously we haven't been able to travel this whole time. But yeah, I was only on it for that international. And I don't remember. It was one of my friends who told me like, "Yo, it has an international like feature," and I'm like, "Well, obviously I can't travel. It's the pandemic, so let me just travel vicariously through that and meet people in my favorite cities." Like, why not?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, because I haven't been to Paris, so I'm like, at least if I go to Paris, I'll have some friends. Like, even if it's not even like guys I'm interested, at least I'll have friends.
Everybody
and,
like
knows show me a place, take me out to a restaurant. Like,
oh my god, Paris! Friends. Like, I can't. Everyone that knows me knows Paris is my most favorite city.
Okay, you know what?
Let's
make a pact from today.
It's so beautiful
that once the borders open, me and you go to Paris.
Yes, I wanted to go for my birthday, which is just in 2 weeks, guys. I'm so excited.
I wanted to go to Bali for my 30th, and
we're going.
That does not look like it's going to happen.
I mean, even if it's later in the year, it's still going to be your 30th year. You know what I mean?
My 30th,
we're going to go.
My 30th is going to last the whole entire year. After February 7th, right? Which is my birthday, it's going to last the entire year. Until I get to actually celebrate it fully the way I want to.
Exactly.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, guys?
I'm 30. I'm going to be 33, so it's my Jesus year. It's a very big year. I'm celebrating it the whole year.
Jesus year?
Yeah. It's like your year of like spiritual awakening and everything.
Oh, so that's definitely this year for me.
It's like a very like important year. So I'm just.
I went through like a heartbreak last year. Like this year, I'm like, okay,
this is your year, and like you're just jumping into 30. Like,
I know
this is the best year. So
my hair's getting kind of bigger. My boobs got bigger. Unfortunately,
Hey, you can't be mad at that.
Quarantine made me gain 18 pounds. Unfortunately,
okay.
So I feel like this was my spiritual awakening year, and maybe next year will be my hot 30
girl
year.
Summer. Yeah,
yes, my
it's a hot girl
year.
Period.
Hot girls year.
Period.
So
like,
that's what's gonna happen.
Right?
Thank you.
So yeah, like, I guess basically, like, especially like the quarantine, these apps saw such a surge. There was actually, like, it was reported that there was an 11% surge on dating apps and 50% surge on social media, which means people were sliding in the DMs. Like,
now I need to, like, tally, like, how many times did I get DM'd during the pandemic? Actually, you know what?
I got DM'd a lot, but it was, like, people that I wasn't really, like, interested in.
There was only one person that I kind of, like, took interest in. And another person before the pandemic. But
yeah,
afterwards, after those two, it's kind of like,
yeah, and it was just kind of, like, unmotivating, because I feel like a lot of the people that were in my DMs were, like, in the US or, like, abroad, or, like, it wasn't really a lot of people that were local, so it was really, like, I mean, not that I could have really seen anybody in the middle of the pandemic, but I mean, at least you knew, like, okay, when things get better, like, okay, cool, maybe we can meet up, but, like, I knew they were not about to open the border, the U.S. border, for a very long time.
I've been praying for them too,
right? Because, like,
I've been praying.
One of my best friends lives in New York, so she's been trying to come. Like, she was supposed to come in May, and then she couldn't come, and then again in June, and then July, and then even till now, like, she was supposed to come for my birthday, she can't. Like,
yeah, because my favorite, great aunt passed away during the pandemic, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral, which was crappy. And I didn't get to see my cousins. That was tough. Yeah. But I'm like, it's okay, whatever. One time, I'm like, maybe in a few months I'll be able to go, and now it's been how much long, and still haven't been able to go yet. But hopefully soon, because New York is, like, my favorite place. Yeah. So... Girl,
why do you think I went there and never came back?
No, Susan, I wish...
I lived there for a few years.
I wish I knew you when I was younger, because living in New York...
Girl, my 20s
But then, to be honest, I probably would never have come back, like, at all. I would have probably...
I had to, so it was, like, it was, like, kind of, like my family kind of, like, intervened and stuff, because there was a lot going on here, so I kind of had to come back. But if I didn't have to, I probably wouldn't have. But
then again, you got to meet me.
Yeah, it was life experience. Back. Yeah, exactly.
Yay. You guys going to be able to enjoy this amazing podcast.
Right, exactly.
If she did not come back.
Exactly. So like, we would have never met each other. We would have never met each other at the place that we work now. Which is... Yes, a whole lot of stress. But...
Why did we sigh at the same time?
Right? Girl, like... Anybody who knows, if you know, you know. Like... We don't need to say anything more, period. But since it looks like we're about to go back into a second lockdown, I mean, I'm hoping that we don't, but I mean, Ford said he was literally like ready to go back into a second lockdown as soon as he gets the A-OK. So should we go back into another lockdown? And, you guys are lonely and, you want to meet people, like, obviously on an online capacity, not in person. We got some little pro tips for you. Not that we're pros or anything when it comes to online dating or sliding in the DMs. Exactly. We are not professionals. However, we have some great advice for you guys. First and foremost, we're going to give you guys the tea when it comes to how to meet somebody during a quarantine. As far as online dating, what do you think one of the tips is?
So my tip that I find works for me is because I swear every week I have different hair, different everything. Yeah. Versatility is key. Yes. I feel like what I purposely do if I do go on these dating apps is make sure I show them every hairstyle I have. Like, I'll show them braids. Yeah. I'll show them a wig. Yes. I'll show them with my fro. I'm like, get used to it from now. Get used, because when we go on a date, you're gonna see one of the three, one of the four, one of the five. So get used to it from now.
That's one of the beauties of being with a black woman. Like, you always it's like dating 5 people in one. Like, come with a blowout, braids, curls. Like, we switch it up.
But that's what I'm saying. I need to prepare them beforehand. Yeah, I'm not trying to get no questions.
Yeah,
or, like,
for sure.
Especially if it's like somebody of another race. Yeah, where it's just like.
Ooh. But I know what? It's hard. Honestly, it's hard because there's so many of them.
Yeah, I went on. So I went on a date once. With somebody that was not the same race. Yes. But, it wasn't bad. Yeah. But I think he just expected different from me. Like, he would talk a lot about how much money he had, how much money he was making.
Girl, tell me about it.
How he has this car, how he's going to buy a house because he's American and he moved to Toronto for work. So they're paying him in US dollars still. He had his car. He had his nice hotel that he was going to purchase a new house while he was down here and stuff like that. Like, he had money.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that doesn't really impress me. Like, I'm like, yes, money's nice, of course, whatever, but that's not going to make me be like, okay, you know what? That added like 3 bonus points to the guy. So that's
Was he older? Was he older than you?
I feel like he was the same age. Maybe if he was older, maybe like a year or two. Like, it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, I feel like, especially with older guys, like, I feel like that's the kind of dynamic that it is. They have to like push all of their successes on you.
Yeah, and I felt like just because I cared more about his personality, I feel like it threw him off.
Yeah, because he was not like, wait a second, like I'm telling her about all these things that I have and she's not even interested.
But maybe if he met me now, it might have been different. Not joking.
It's like, what? I think, that happened to me, like when I met somebody and like he owned his own real estate like practice.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but like he was a lot older than me, but I liked that he was like mature and like successful and like, you know what I mean, a lot going for him. But the thing that I didn't like is like he constantly had to
they had to show off.
Yeah, like
right?
Like I remember the first date, it was like very lavish, it was very extravagant, which was nice because I like nice things, you know what I mean. I like to go out to eat, even when I'm with my friends, like I like to go to nice places and like, you know what I mean, I like the ambiance, the aesthetic.
He even asked me, he's like, where's a place that you always wanted to go and haven't gone yet? And I'm like, I
mean, I'm bougie. I've been to every nice place in the city.
See, I haven't. And I chose a stupid little bistro. I'm like, I should have chosen a
Yeah, girl.
But there's a bistro that I really wanted to go to, so that's why I told him. But I'm like, I like that. Like, if you're gonna tell me where to go, at least give me some type of budget or give me an unlimited budget and be like, choose anywhere.
Unlimited. I need a black card. Yeah. Unlimited spending.
Like, either
cars with no limits.
You know when guys like, because we hate when guys are like, oh, where do you want to go? Like, fuck,
oh my god, I hate that question. I hate it.
But how he went about it, about tell me somewhere you want to go and haven't been. Like, that was like, I was like, oh,
that was cute.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, you know what? It's okay. Like later down the road when we've already like been on multiple dates and whatever, for you to be like, okay, where do you want to go? Because I feel like we've already passed all of that stuff. But especially in the beginning, like the first couple of dates, like take the initiative to plan something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, pick me up. Just be like, you know what? Get dressed. Be downstairs at this time. I still like getting picked up. If I know somebody well, you know what I mean? I feel like it's cute. Like, I want somebody to just be like, get dressed, you know, be ready for this time. Like, I
feel like I haven't gotten over that part yet. Like, I still would rather meet somebody.
Yeah. If it's a first date, if it's a first date, I don't let them like pick me up or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when I'm comfortable with somebody. But yeah, if it's a first date,
when I'm comfortable,
I'm
like pick me up.
there.
Listen, I don't like to drive. Like,
and I don't need you knowing my house number, like my house, if I don't like know you like that.
I live in a condo, so I don't really matter.
Yeah, so do I. But still, like you could be parked in the parking lot, like
I'm just waiting.
I attract stalkers, like you know this. Like I always attract crazy guys. So like I've been through some crazy shit. Like
you do,
because I'm really nice, and like sometimes I just don't know how to like. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, so sometimes I don't know how to have like I hate having hard conversations with people, but then sometimes it like I wouldn't say sometimes, I feel like it always backfires. I'm trying to get better at that now, like as I'm getting older, but yeah, like I don't know, I don't really like people who are like overly like confidence is great, like be confident and like be secure in yourself, but like one of my worst dating experiences, like worst was with this one guy, and like all he did was talk about himself, all of the things he had, all of his like successes, and like he was a very successful guy, like, you know what I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't take that from him, but it was like he was just so self-centered and arrogant, like such a narcissist. We were on the date and like he would ask me questions, and then as soon as I'd answer, he'd literally cut me off and talk about himself. And I was just like, why are you even asking me questions? And like, you're not even trying to get to know me, because as soon as I'm like halfway answering the questions, like, oh yeah, that reminds me of this time when da-da-da. Or yeah, you know what, there was I'm like, sir, why did you bring me here if you're just going to talk to yourself?
Honestly,
like,
it reminds me of a guy that
I got drunk that night. I was like, oh yeah, really? I need another one.
My mom tried to hook me up with a guy that reminds me exactly like that, and it's just like,
oh my god, it was.
But you know what was the worst part of it?
And it was cute. It was like sad.
Yeah, because he was really cute. Sad. He had a lot of money. But the part that, like, so he was very like that. He was arrogant, like, pretty much he was a prize. And I was lucky to even...
Be on a date with him?
Yeah. No, I didn't even go on a date with him, but, like, I was lucky enough to even message him. And him message me back. Like, I was like... But the part that killed me the most was he's like, okay, send me some pictures of you. So I sent him, like, the typical, like, Instagram photos, whatever. Yeah, of course. The guy said,
don't tell me hate you with send me pictures that are not on Instagram.
No.
I hate when guys say that. I'm like, excuse me?
It's probably a little worse than that.
You don't get nothing special.
He said, he's like, oh, I like your style. I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, that urban style. I was like,
excuse me? What do you mean urban style? Is it because I'm black? Like,
yes! It's because I was black.
Girl, I'm dead.
I'm like, me? Urban?
I'm asleep.
I'm like,
you're not urban at all, though. Like, I mean, and what exactly is urban? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, urban.
Okay, boy, bye. Like, I can't.
I'm like, oh, okay. I think I called him out on it too. I'm like, what do you mean by urban? And he's like,
because you're black. Anything like, you do is
he's
urban.
like, you know, like more like the street style. I was like, oh, okay.
Street style? What are you, a street vendor on the street? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? Okay. And it's not even like you're like into like streetwear or like streetwear brands and that kind of thing.
I'm
like,
not.
So it really didn't make...
I'm like the most basic bitch when it comes to dressing.
Yeah,
so
but you look cute. You get cute. Like that's...
But like I'm so basic though. Like my color range is like 3 colors.
I mean...
4 actually,
black
including
will never
beige.
Do you wrong.
No,
black
sorry,
will
5
never do you
gray.
Wrong. Nude will never do you wrong. I mean, it pops the color when the weather's nice. But
yeah, so it's just like street. I'm like urban. I was like, oh, okay,
no,
all
that's
right,
why
cool.
I can't. Like I can't.
I'm like, okay, cool.
I can't.
I'm like, all right.
No.
So I don't know. It's just.
I mean, I agree with like I think back to like your idea of like versatility.
Yeah.
I think it's important so that. I mean, the person gets to kind of know like who you are, and it's so then they won't be like completely thrown off track if like one day you're wearing like a wig that's like maybe blonde and like a bob, and then 2 days later it's like you have braids. Because
I feel like
maybe
like, the guys that date black women that aren't black are starting to get a bit more familiarized with it, so that's a little bit better because it's like. Because if you talk to me, I'm a little too, like I said before, I'm a little too honest.
Yeah.
So people are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, just doing my hair. They're like, oh, what are you doing to it? I'm like, oh, I'm braiding it so I can put a wig on. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll tell you everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So
like, everybody wears wigs.
I feel like my guys can have no
problem with that.
They shouldn't, because I will tell them everything. I'll send them pictures even. Be like, oh, look, I'm like halfway done braiding my hair. Like, I don't care. So it's really bad. I feel bad for the guys that did it because the way that they've seen me already, like I feel like the one guy I started talking to, I think he video chatted me and I was wearing my bonnet. I think that was like the first video chat we had. It was either the first or second and I was already wearing my headband. I'm like,
girl,
get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like super important. I feel like I had a situation though. Do you remember the guy like around your birthday times that like I don't know, I think I had my hair straight a lot because in the winter I blow my hair out and I wear it straight a lot. And I remember I met this guy and like I met him when my hair was straight and like obviously I met him in person and it was just weird. It was like he was so fixated on how my hair looked when it was straight, and then he would always try to like be like, oh well, can you wear your hair like this? And that's when I was immediately like turned off because I was like, you get me however I'm feeling. Like if I come with a blowout, that's how I'm going to wear my hair today. If I wash it and wear it curly, that's how I'm going to wear it today. If I put a ponytail in it or I wear a wig, that's like, you can't be trying to tell me how to wear my hair because that's how you like it. So I was just like, no, like this is not going to work. So that got like kicked to the curb real quick. But I mean, as far as like our topic of online dating, I think for me, I would say one of the biggest pro tips would be honest. Like, be honest about what it is you're looking for, because if you're looking for a long-term relationship, and don't get me wrong, there's some cute guys on there. There are some very cute guys on there, and whether they're cute or not, there's a lot of guys that on their profiles, it will say, like, looking for a relationship, looking for something casual. Like, if you know that you want a serious relationship, don't swipe on a guy because he's cute and it says something casual, because then it's like you already know what type of energy he's on, and you're just going to end up being disappointed in the long run.
So pretty much be honest with yourself and be honest with other people. So show your intentions, kind of look at what the person's willing to offer you.
Exactly.
And base it off of that. No, that makes sense.
You know what? If you just want to hook up, then put that in your bio. Like, you have those little options, like the little, like, prompts that you can select. And if you're looking for something casual, then put that in your bio. I mean, you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to put that in it. But there's most of the guys on there state right away, like, whether they're looking for something serious. Some put that they're looking for marriage. Some put that they're just on there for something casual. So, I mean, like, don't set yourself up for failure and match with people that are not looking for what you're looking for. Don't waste your time. Like, time is too precious to be wasted. So just be honest. Be honest with yourself and be honest with what you're looking for. Like, I think that's, like, one of the biggest pro tips.
That makes sense because I feel like some people go on it looking for one thing and they swipe, like you said, there's somebody cute, so they just swipe with it.
Exactly. Even though it's something casual. Like, exactly. And then you get mad when he's on some, okay, so come to my house, or like, this is my address, or oh, let me come see you. And then you're like, oh, well, no, because it's like, it says specifically what he's on there for. So, I mean, you can't really, like...
You can't get mad about it.
Not to say that somebody who maybe has that in their bio might want something more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it can find a connection and be like, you know what, this is somebody
greater. But I mean,
the general rule would be looking for someone that's looking for the same thing as you are. Like someone that aligns with your interests and your needs. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
My pro tip is very simple. If you are non-black, don't approach a black girl and say that you like chocolate.
Oh.
Okay?
You know how many times I've got that from, like, non-black guys?
Yeah, like, oh... Yeah, you look like chocolate. And don't be like, I dated a black girl before. Like, if I want to know, I will ask you, because most likely I will ask you anyways. But don't just offer it up like, oh, like, you're so cute, like, I love some chocolate. I've dated, like, 3 black girls before you.
Yeah, please don't. It doesn't, like, it's not something that excites us. It's not relatable. Like, we don't like it. It's just, like, it's very, it's hyper-sexualizing us, and, like, the world does that for us enough. Like, we don't need you to now do it in the DMs or, like, in an app DM or whatever. Like, please don't. It's not cute.
It's not.
It's tacky.
Because at the same time, it's like you're making me feel like...
I'm an object.
Yeah.
Like a sex symbol.
And also you make me feel like I'm an alien. Like, I'm so different than you that you have to, like, learn about me. Like, oh, like, I've researched aliens before. You're just another one. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, no. Don't do it. No. Or when they do this, like, weird thing where they're, like, hyper competitive against black guys. Like, oh, have you ever been with a white guy before? Have they satisfied you like a black guy has? It's like, like, oh.
Like, yeah, please don't offer any, like, sexual information.
Oh yeah,
don't send nudes, don't send unsolicited dick pics, because we do not want them. Like, that's not going to excite us. Doesn't matter what the size is. I do not want it anywhere near my phone, my inbox. Like, please don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
One pro tip I have to put out there is communicate offline. Like, not with everybody, obviously, but if you're talking to somebody, and, like, whether this be online on the dating apps or in DMs on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, if you've been talking to somebody and, like, you guys have some interest and the conversation is going really good and it's getting to that point where you're like, okay, well, I feel like I could meet up with this person and, like, we could go on a date or we could go do something. Communicate offline. Like, once you get past that part of, like, communicating through those, like, mediums, communicate offline, whether it's, like, a phone call, like, FaceTime, text, send pictures. Like, make sure who you're talking to
is who you're actually talking to.
Really who you're talking to, because, like, guys, I was catfished this year for, like, the first time in my entire life.
What?
Girl, like, don't get me wrong, shout out to MTV, because I love Catfish. Like, I love it. They brought it back and it's on TV. Best show ever. It's just so entertaining. Yeah, with Neve and Cammy, the pretty lights girl. Yeah. So, girl, let me tell you how. I think it was, like, in the summer. Like, honestly, I get those apps and I delete them. I'll have them for, like, a day, 2 days, get it, and then I'll delete it.
That's how I am too.
So, I remember, like, it was, like, maybe the end of summer when things started, like, it was right before things started opening up. I don't remember. I was at my parents' house for, like, 2 weeks. I had some time off, and, like, we were just doing our thing. They go to sleep early, so I, like, get bored. So I'm like, okay, let me just get it and, like, talk to people and see what's going on out there. So I like matched with this guy. He was like cute, like really into like arts and like, you know, music and like lifestyle, and like he was also vegan. Like we had a lot of things in common. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. So we were talking and talking like nonstop, like, you know, all day, every day, whatever kind of thing. And then I think I gave him my number. I don't remember. I think I gave him my number, yeah, and we were communicating on text and WhatsApp, whatever. So we like set a date to do something like outdoors. I don't remember if it was like, there's a lot of hiking trails and stuff in like my parents' area. So I don't remember if it was like a walk or if we were going to go to a patio or something. Because like honestly, I've tried to like erase this memory from my mind.
No, don't.
Because it's so scary.
It.
It's so terrifying. So yeah, like we were talking. Everything was great. Like we were planning to meet up and whatever. And then he was just like, oh, you know, like I really just like have to tell you something, but I can't tell you. I have to show you. And I was just like, oh my God, I hope he's not about to send me a dick pic, because I feel like I would cuss his ass out.
That's what I would assume.
Girl, I wish it was that. So this guy sends me a picture of a completely different person, and is like, oh, you know what, like, since we're gonna meet up, like, I just want you to see, like, who I really am. I was like, what? What do you mean, who you really are?
I'm sorry, what?
I was like, I thought people got catfished like 10 years ago, like when Facebook first came out.
Are still doing
T.Wire, like MySpace, like way back in the day. I was like, but what? First of all, I didn't even respond. I like blocked him. I had already deleted the app by then, so I just like blocked him on texting, calling, WhatsApp, like anything I could. And I was just like, I was actually in shock, because I'm like, yo, I'm never using this shit again. Like,
no,
and it was just so like disappointing, because we actually had so much in common, but like I can't start a friendship or relationship or whatever based on a lie. Like,
yeah.
And the thing is, he was cute. He was actually cute. So like, why are you using somebody else's pictures? Like, it just, I don't know. Like, I'm still like, there's no words. But yeah, that was my experience, and. Yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, who does this? Like, who even catfishes people? Like, especially if you're having okay, I know some people are on online dating just to, like, they're married or, like, in relationships or whatever, so they're just trying to, like, have conversations or pastime or whatever. That's super wrong. If you're with somebody, you should not be on there, point blank, period. But, like, if you're, like, having these kinds of conversations where you're, like, getting ready to meet somebody, how do you even think to, like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna talk to her, and because we share a lot of interests, I think that when I show her the picture, she'll be okay, like, oh, well, you know what, we have so much in common, like, I'll see past that. Like, this is not Jenny and Sumit on 90 Day Fiancé, okay?
I know.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's what happened with Sumit.
Yeah, he catfished her.
Yeah.
And then she found out, and then she still loved him. But she loved him
because they had, like, they talked so much that she ended up, like, actually falling in love with who he was. Honestly, when I saw that in 90 Day Fiancé, I thought that, like, that never happens, like, once in a million. Like, okay, yeah, it's 90 Day Fiancé, whatever. But that happened to me in real life, girl.
I can't believe. No,
like, I'm still shocked.
No,
like,
I'm actually shocked.
That's why I don't like to use online dating or anything. Like, I don't like those stuff, because I feel like it's just always some kind of nonsense.
Like that might be why Instagram might be a bit better, because Instagram you can
but people make fake pages too on Instagram.
But you can tell who's real or not by how many pictures they post and their interactions and so it's like, if you can tell, it's like
girl. Yeah, so that was my experience. After that, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not wasting enough time talking to somebody and, like, getting to know them and, like, having things in common and, like, no, like, that was too much for me.
I feel like I've never had an actual, like, successful relationship off of social
apps. Media. Yeah,
like, no, I don't think social media. Like, yeah, I guess you could meet, like, somebody here and there.
Yeah,
but I don't know, off those dating apps, I haven't found.
I get it for, like,
but
a
then again,
days,
it's probably. I was gonna say it's probably because I've only on it for, like, a day or two.
We don't give it enough time. I feel like we get it just out of boredom,
but
like,
again,
on a random day, and then delete it like 2 days later.
It's because I think I feel bad after a while, because again, I don't respond to them, and then I just feel bad. So I'm like,
and you're just entertaining so many people. It's like, I told you, I copy and paste. I like copy and paste from, like, one conversation to another, because it's just too much. Like, and then I don't go on it for, like, days, and I come back and there's all these messages, and I'm like, okay, I don't have the energy to go through all of these.
No, that's insane. I think that's what it is, because it's like...
It's too much.
All of a sudden, it's like you see like 15 messages, and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that.
You're like, I have to respond to all these, and like...
Even when I have 2 messages on my actual phone, I'm like...
Yeah. You're like,
I'll open it just so it's
unread,
and then I go back doing what I need to do, because I hate seeing unread messages, but then I also hate responding to messages. So,
what was the best DM that you got? Have you gotten anything that was like super clever?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't got any, but like one. There was one that, like, till this day is the best DM I've ever got, because I think I was like at work on a break or something, and I like yelled out loud because I was dying laughing so hard. And you know who it is. He's the best. I love him, and now we're just really good friends. But it was so funny. Like, yeah. So basically, he sent like random pieces of furniture. Like, he sent me like a couch first, like an emoji of like a couch. And then he sent me an emoji, I think, of like a fridge or like a microwave or something. And I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, oh, don't mind me just moving into your DMs. Sorry. It was literally like the most clever.
Oh my God.
It was the most clever and funniest things. Like, because usually I always just get like emoji eyes or like, hey, beautiful. Or, like, like the boring shit.
Eyes.
Or the eyes, like the big eyes. Like, boring shit. So that was like the most clever thing.
Try to force conversation with you. Like, I hate when I have this one guy in my DMs that's constantly trying to force conversation. Yeah. Like, I feel like he knows I like to debate and have conversations. So like, he
troll.
Again, I'm not the troll guy.
I know. You like to come for trolls. Yeah.
Yeah, because like even yesterday I wrote a random comment and then I was getting attacked. I'm like, bruh.
And the trolls were coming for you.
Yes. I'm like, go away. He's like, you're fucking stupid. I'm like,
Nobody has time to fight with 20-year-olds on Instagram.
And again, it always has to do with the stupid ass, like, guys just don't want to pay for dates conversation.
Exhausting.
So I'm like, I don't want to argue with it.
Episode 1.
That's it. I don't want to argue. Like, if you don't want to pay for dates, just go find a girl that doesn't care about you paying for dates. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but this is not the girl. So just go. Like, don't get mad. Don't be mad. Like, go. But anyways, yeah, no, like, some of them just try to, like, force conversation with me. They're like, oh, like, I'll post something like, oh my God, I love orange juice. And they're like, oh, orange juice is, like, the worst juice out of all of them.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Bruh.
Not the doctor.
Like,
Thank you for your unsolicited information.
I don't care enough about your opinion to even talk about
right?
This. Like, no.
Stop it.
Like, cool story. Apple juice is the best. Okay, cool story. I don't care.
Pro tip. If you want to have an effective conversation with somebody, send them like a DM based on their post. Don't be negative like him. Oh, that's the worst juice. Like, if somebody posted maybe like a trail that they were on, you could just slide in the DMs in the story and be like, oh, that trail's so beautiful. Like, wow, that view's amazing. Like, where is this? Or if you see them chefing it up and it's something that you like, it's like, oh, that looks so delicious. Like, looks really healthy. Like, what's the recipe? Like, try to like bond over something that they recently posted, whether it's like an Instagram story or like an actual post, whether it's on Twitter, maybe it's like a movement that you guys are both following, or even if it's a meme. Like, I'm always on Twitter
memes.
with the memes. Like, I communicate with so much people on Twitter.
Send
like,
me memes.
Sometimes like I'm literally like weak, and I tell them, I'll be like, yo, this meme has me dead. I'm on the floor with like crying emoji faces. Like,
I love memes.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, make it conversational and like don't make it forced. Like, you don't gotta be negative Nancy in somebody's DMs. Oh, this is the most unhealthy juice. It's like, okay,
just to try to force conversation. Like, stop it.
Do it naturally. Do it wholesome. Make it positive. You know, people want to respond to something that they're actually interested about. You know what I mean? So, like, look at their interests. Like, look at their page. What do they normally post about? And then just pick their brain about it.
And be like, oh, hey, I've been interested. People have to understand that not everyone's gonna like you. Like, I feel like some people get so mad when they're like, oh, like, especially guys, like, oh, I was a nice guy, and then the girl rejected me. I'm like, okay, you can be a nice guy.
Asshole.
Yeah, I'm like, you're a nice guy, cool, but
stay that way.
And the girl could like nice guys and just not like you.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry,
it has
like,
nothing to do with you. Like, don't ever change. Do not change based on
crazy. Because me, I'm like, oh, you don't like me? Okay, cool.
That's okay,
like, there's somebody else out there that does.
Thank you.
When people try to call me fat, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Like, I really don't care about your opinion.
Exactly.
Especially if you don't like me and I don't even know you yet, then I definitely, truly don't care. So it's like,
listen,
people need to stop using that rejection as an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah, to be miserable and mean. Because it's like, okay, you don't like me, that's fine. Because there will be like 10 other guys in my DMs or sending me messages right now who do, and that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? I think, I guess rejection is hard for everyone to deal with, but it happens. Definitely. Like, everybody, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how in shape you are, doesn't matter how much money you have. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, you may not be what somebody is looking for. And it doesn't even have to do with attraction. Maybe it's your personality. Maybe it's where you are in life. Maybe it's your lifestyle. You know what I mean? It could be many reasons why somebody just isn't interested in you or doesn't feel the same. But, I mean, you should never make you feel miserable and, like, feel like you need to be bitter and, you know, then turn and treat everybody like garbage.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I don't think it's a proper excuse.
You don't need to.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like people just get so miserable. But maybe it's just social media. I feel like social media has given the opportunity for people to just be dicks all the time now, too. And also social media has been ruining relationships.
On the other side of dating and social media, yeah. Social media is, I mean, I guess like...
But you know what's good, though? Because if you want to cheat, good, you got caught. Yeah. Sorry, don't feel bad. Nope, don't feel bad for adulterers.
I mean, I don't know.
Nope.
Social media and, like, dating, it's tough. I think you have to be very secure and confident in your relationship because, like, at the end of the day, you shouldn't, like, I guess, just react based on social media. Like, you know, your boyfriend could like things. You're going to like things. Like, I think you have to be mature, content, and just kind of like, you know, in a place where you're secure in your relationship to not let it, like, don't get me wrong, sending DMs and all that kind of stuff and actually cheating through social media, that's a whole other topic. But as far as, like, you know, liking things, I think a lot of people,
it's also a balance because, like, if you're not liking any of your girlfriend's pictures, not commenting on them or whatever, but then you're so willing to go on random girls' comment,
half-naked girls, and you're liking all their pictures, like, and, like, you're thirsty, super thirst 101.
Yeah, because I'm not a jealous person. No. I wouldn't classify myself as a jealous person at all.
I'm trying to work on it, though. Like, I think I was a lot worse before. I'm better now. Like, I think it's just, and I think it's, you know what I mean? I think I've just been in, like, some unhealthy relationships before.
That kind of
so I think, like,
pushed it forward a bit.
Like, just, like, not.
But, like, I've never been a jealous person, but, like, there's still some things where we're just like, really? Like, really? Come on.
That's true.
And even, like, when...
You gotta be thirsty for your girl in the same way that you're thirsty for
like, the same way
else.
that you're DMing me and heart-eyeing my photos before we started dating, you need to be...
that same energy.
Exactly. You need to be heart-eyeing my photos again. I don't care if you see this face every single day.
It's the
Do I look
mutual...
cute in that picture? Yes. Okay, heart-eyes
mutual thirst for me. Like, I need it. It needs to be like a mutual thirst. And, like, that's what I want. That's what I like. Like, I want to equally, like... be obsessed with you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, I don't
healthy
care about...
obsession.
Like, I don't even care about social media, because, like, I will send... Like, the guy I was talking to, I would send him photos of a hot girl. I'm like, look... I'm like... I remember there was this one video of a girl, and she had the nicest ass, and she's walking, and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. So I sent it to him. I'm like... Good morning and you're welcome. Yeah. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not...
because you're content.
Yeah,
like, you're
I don't
confident
care.
And secure
However,
in your
again,
situation.
if you're doing all that stuff for so many other girls and not for me, that's when I will be like, okay, no, this is getting a bit
it comes
weird.
with a level of maturity, and I think it also comes with, like, healthy relationship.
Yeah, and you know again, communication's always key.
It's number one.
Honestly, because...
without it, there's no... like, you really... You have no future. No, there's no longevity. There's just no relationship, period, without communication.
It's true, because it's like, and plus social media, people are so willing to show you what your partner's doing, whatever, and I don't ever want to be caught off guard, like, oh, so-and-so did this, and like this person, comment on the person. I would be like, okay, yeah, and I commented too. Like,
I mean, it's not a good feeling when somebody, like, sends you a DM about the person you're with. Like, it's...
Well, that's how I found out that my ex was cheating on me, because the girl DM'd me and then told me.
When I was dating the guy in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was, like, you know, a pretty, like, popular, like, you know, guy, so...
Yeah. No, this is even after we broke up, and she DM'd me and told me everything. I was like, oh, that's cute. Thanks.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I was a lot younger, so it is what it is. Like, we were both young and whatever, but still, I feel like it's just, honestly, Like, communication is so important, and you need to make sure that the person that you're... And this is if you are in a relationship. Like, if it's a situationship, entanglement, or whatever the case may be, you guys can set your own, you know, boundaries and your own rules and regulations. But as far as a relationship, like, there has to be respect. There has to be clear communication. And, like, you need to both be on the same page. Because, like, if you're not, then... You need to be with somebody who aligns with what you want and what you deserve, like what you expect to be treated.
That's the thing. I feel like at the end of the day, like we've been saying, intention is key as well as communication. Yes. So you always have 100%. To make sure that you're 100% truthful of your intention. I feel like a lot of the issues is that...
Be honest. Be honest. If something is bothering
you,
the
major issue is people not being honest with themselves. Like, not even the other person with themselves. Because you can tell the person whatever you want to tell them, but if you're not honest with yourself... then it's not going to go in there. Because I could be like, yeah, I want a relationship, but really and truly, I'm like, no, I'm not ready for one. Yeah. Then what's the point? Like, it's just...
Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself first and foremost. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you can't be honest with others. You know what I mean? Like, and that's exactly the same thing. Like,
and I feel like a lot of people are in, like, the fairy tale land. Like,
of course.
Like, you know,
you want
those friends that, like, force those relationships to work when you know that they're shit and trash. And they're like, no, everything is so good. I'm like...
No, your actions have to show it as well. Like, I mean, you can say that you want a relationship, but you can know that you are not capable or maybe not ready to be in a relationship. And so your actions, of course, are going to be 100% different than what it is you're communicating with your partner. So it's like, you definitely need to be secure in yourself. And if you're not ready for a relationship, don't actively seek somebody who is, because it's not fair to the other person either. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be pain, heartbreak. Like, there's no reason to drag somebody into that. Like, if that's not what you're looking for, because there are tons of guys out there who don't want to be in a relationship, want to be in an entanglement or a situationship or whatever the case may be. So it's like, if that's what you're looking for, communicate that and go do that over there. But, like, if you are going to communicate that you want a relationship and you know you don't, and you're getting into it with somebody who actually does want one, like, it's wrong. It's wrong. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the other person.
No, 100%.
First and foremost.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like key is also to listen to the other person.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will tell you what they're looking for, and especially a lot of women decide to ignore that.
Yeah.
Like, the guy will be like, I'm not looking for a relationship, and the girl will still try to force one on them.
If a guy is telling you he's not ready, he doesn't want a relationship, he doesn't want marriage, he doesn't want kids, he doesn't want any of this, don't waste your time. Like, if somebody's telling you these things and that's what you want, there are so many other men who are there where you are and ready for what you want. Like, don't waste your time sticking around trying to force somebody into something that you're ready for, because one, they're just going to end up resenting you in the long run, and two, it's probably not going to last. So do what's best for you. Listen to your partner and listen to yourself, and be honest with yourself and be honest with your partner. Like, there's way too many men and women out there for you to ever feel like you need to force somebody or force a situation. Don't do that over here.
No. I agree. Honesty is key. Communication is the second most important. So honesty, communication.
Yes.
Honesty, communication.
They work hand in hand, guys. Honesty, communication. You can't go wrong. Like, when you state what it is that you want and what you're looking for, and you have that conversation from the beginning, there won't be any problems. There won't be any room for cheating. There won't be any need for anything else. So
that's true.
We gave you some really good pro tips today.
We did. I feel like we're professional.
Online dating, sliding in the DMs, whatever it is. Should we go into another lockdown? And, you just can't meet people outside anymore. And, you're looking for love or looking for romance, or you're just looking for a good time. Whatever it is you're looking for,
adapt with the times.
Adapt, because we are in a whole new normal, which you guys obviously already know. So you just got to adapt with it. And, at the end of the day, 39% of married couples met online, so you never know. And I'm sure that's actually a lot higher than it really is. That's just what's reported.
Like, people just don't want to admit it. Because can you imagine at the dinner table, like, how did you meet? Oh, well, we met through a friend.
Yeah, but the friend was named Bumble.
Friend named Bumble.
Yeah, a friend. He's like a very busybody, just busy.
Tinderella introduced us.
Tindies. Remember Tindies? In my phone. Yes, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Youngish, and it's been a pleasure talking our shit and you lovely, beautiful people listening to it. Thank you so much again for being here with us.
And if you have any tips for us on how to be successful, because again, I'm horrible at
We're not experts. We never said we were.
We're just tips for me because I am single.
Yes,
We're both single.
Yeah, I'm single.
So if you have any tips for us on how to be successful on dating apps, let us know in the comments, DMs, email. So we're going to go over everything for you. So if you want to follow us on IG,
please do.
It is youngish and _. Okay? If you want to email us, it is youngishand@gmail.com. Okay?
All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you think we missed anything, if you have any extra pro tips for us, if there's anything you want to add, anything that you think we missed, drop them all down below.
You can even DM us personally. I'm at KERR__, and Marette is at...
I'm at _XII_IV. So yeah.
Just message us, DM us, give us some pro tips, maybe show us some creative ideas on how to slide into DMs. Yes. You know what? Show me how to shoot my shot with these men, okay? Show me.
Send us all the tips. Send us all that good stuff. We are always willing to learn. We're always ready to learn, so.
It's true.
Put us up on that new.
All right, guys.
We're old school.
Have a good night.
Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah. Happy Friday.
Bye.
Take care.